Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your love and relationship reading for the month of August. For those of you who are just now tuning in, these are generalized readings, so not everything in the reading may pertain to you. I am available to answer any questions as well as to do private readings and can be reached at mantraflowtarot@gmail.com. I like to start off with a reading for my singles and then I move into a reading for my couples. So I am working with the Wooden Tarot, which I haven't been working with too long, but anyway, I hope you guys will like it. It's very earth-based, which I absolutely love. So, the first card in the spread is the Emperor, and this is where you are now. You have this very proactive, take charge attitude, and you're really just striving ahead with strong focus. And I think that what really brought this situation on is the Five of Stones, which has to do with some inner conflict. I feel like you were in a situation where you felt like literally your back was up against a wall, and you're really struggling with how to move forward. However, this indicates you finding your way. We also have the Ten of Plumes, which indicates that, this decision and where you are now has to do with some heavy angst, some grief, some heartache, something that you've been really struggling with. However, since this is a number 10, this was like a catalyst, of change. So this is something that you are ultimately working your way out of. Now, the foundation of this situation is the Seven of Blooms, and this has to do with heavy emotional decision making, really weighing your options and just really trying to, channel that energy of the Emperor to strive forward, figure out what your next direction is. And it's going to take some strength, you're really going to have to, you think of the strength card and yeah, okay, it's about being strong, but it's more than that. It has to do with your interactions with people and the way you approach, others, your interpersonal relationships. This also touches on, being gentle and soothing, the type of person that you want other people to come to when they're in need. You want you channel that inner love, that guiding force within. Again, back to the Emperor. Now, your aspirations are the Temperance, and when I think of the Temperance, I think of, and it's an otter. Let's take a moment to look at that card. Oh my God, so precious. So when I think of the Temperance, I think of, like the light or the calm after the storm, being in the dark and then coming to the light. This is relief. This is, overcoming obstacles, but doing so in balance and doing that in honor and trust of the divine. This is serenity. This is peace. Now, you in the environment of the future is the High Priestess, and this really touches on trusting that inner instinct. And I know what you guys are getting at. So far, it's all been about this introspection and reflection. But the overall outcome is hope. It is the Nine of Blooms. This could even indicate that there's somebody who will be entering into your life, and this has to do with the hope of carrying a relationship on, with this person, or maybe just, an optimistic outlook on a new relationship coming into your life. Now, one of the things that's so important about this reading, and I don't want you singles to be discouraged because I really haven't touched much, so much on entering into, a relationship, but more so, dealing with what you're going through now. This period of introspection and reflection is so important because it lays the solid foundation for a loving and healthy relationship to grow. This is something that you have to go through, something that you have to process for you to be ready for a healthy, loving relationship. And I think that ultimately this is the right choice, really processing. I'm actually doing a lot of processing on my own right now as well. It's something that we have to do. People think that, once we become adults, we don't continue to grow and change, but we grow and change throughout our whole life. And in order to, you know, be proactive about that, the growth and change. You have to love and nurture yourself and be aware of the changes that you're going through and constantly think, well, what can I do differently? What am I feeling right now? Again, a lot of introspection and reflection, which is just so important. And I'm sorry, I've gotten off on a tangent, but this is a key part to your path, okay? So with that said, I'm going to move into a spread for my couples. Okay, so the first card in the spread is the King of Bones, and this represents, what you're bringing into this relationship. This could indicate that you have a very strong alpha personality. You're somebody who likes to take charge of a situation. You also really relate closely with nature, and you are somebody who is also very fiscally responsible. You have this wonderful sense of humor, and there's this cariness about you that's very contagious. Now, where you're at now in regards to this relationship is the Sun. You are somebody who is very happy. This person makes you feel very euphoric, almost like a child. You're really just basking in this person's light, so to speak. The next card is the Nine of Bones, and this is what you're hoping to get from this relationship. Now, this has to do with, so when we think of the Nine of Bones, we think of success, we think of, achieving these goals, but also this touches on, your independence and being strong within, being strong as a couple, but also being strong individually. I think that what this tells me about you is that you are somebody who, understands, of course, the importance of a relationship, but you also understand the importance of having the relationship within yourself. And this is like an acknowledgement of paying, your due diligence and attention to this relationship, but also maintaining a strong sense of independence within yourself, which you could do successfully within a relationship. Now, the next card is the Seven of Stones, and this has to do with what your partner's bringing into this relationship. Your partner is also very stuck in his or her ways. In fact, this person can come across as being straight up stubborn, and it can sometimes be hard to communicate with this person, or working towards striving to achieve things with this person. However, given these cards, it doesn't seem like this is ultimately an obstacle for you. Now, where your partner is at now in regards to this relationship is the Five of Bones, and this has to do with things haven't always been easy for your partner. And I think that this person can sometimes be hard to penetrate, those inner vulnerabilities that we all carry with us. This person could be the victim of some sort of illicit affair. This could indicate, possible trust issues that this person is still processing. And I think that in regards to this person, whether they're aware of it or not, this is something that's very much, something that they're very much still dealing with that needs to be acknowledged and moved through. Now, where they're hoping to get from this relationship is the star. They're hopeful, and they're also trusting that in the divine, that the divine will lead them on the right path, and are hopeful of the future that you guys will share with one another. Now, how you see your partner is the Five of Blooms. You see he or she is somebody who has gone through a great loss. This could indicate that maybe they're going through some sort of significant grieving period, which also touches on, the Five of Bones, the sense of loss, trust. But how they see you is the Three of Bones, which has to do with coming together, working together, and building something with you. I think of the Three of Bones as somebody who is starting over and building something together. So, I do see them going through some grief, but it seems like they're very hopeful of this relationship. And even though he or she is dealing with, some heaviness, you're very optimistic as well. Now, the next card is the Seven of Bones. This indicates, emotional decisions. This could indicate that maybe that you guys are at the space within your relationship where you're not quite super serious, but you're really evaluating your options in order to move forward. But I think that before you make a final decision and move in a direction, that you dedicate yourself with your partner to work through these issues so that you guys can move forward. So with that said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me at mantraflowtarot@gmail.com. Thanks, you guys.